Sports Snippets! Dennis Sullivan. How the heck you doing, guys? Happy weekend. Happy Saturday, the 15th of January. How you doing out there? Hope all's well. Well, as soon as I thought I was done with talking about the Miami Dolphins for a couple of months and the season ends and all that other type of thing going on with the playoffs now starting, and of course Dolphins not being part of the playoffs once again, something comes up a few days ago as the Miami Dolphins have parted ways with head coach Brian Flores after 3 seasons. Want to talk about that with you today. And before I get started, if you do like the content this particular video, go ahead, guys. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe to my channel, Sports Snippets with Dennis Sullivan. So let's get started, everyone. I want to begin by saying that on many occasions, and I have a very small YouTube channel, do this mainly, make a video or two mainly on weekends, sometimes a little bit during the week. And there have been many times where I had said over the last few years that the strength of the Miami Dolphins was its head coach, Brian Flores. So I was not happy to hear that after 3 seasons, he was let go as the head coach of this team. He did take over a very, very inept, to put it kindly, Miami Dolphin team in the 2019 season after the Adam Gase the Adam Gase coaching efforts, and would actually win 5 games in his first season, and the team would finish 5-11. And actually, he started to turn the team around back a few years ago, and then that led to 10-6 in 2020, which was probably his greatest moment or greatest season, and then 9-8 this year that has just concluded, the 2021 regular season. Now, although I'm not happy with the move, I will point out a few things to you guys, not so much to justify the move, but more to give you a little bit of both sides of it, though. Because although I wouldn't expect anyone here really, I wouldn't expect to say, well, yeah, Dolphins really, have to go in a different direction. No, not really. There are a few things we need to keep in mind, and I want to talk to you about that in this video. And as far as Brian Flores goes, he's going to be fine. I mean, he's already interviewed, I believe, on Friday for the Houston Texan job. He's in. I mean, he's going to be fine. I'll be shocked if he's not coaching in the NFL as a head coach, by the way, for the 2022 regular season. I would be shocked if he's not a head coach in the NFL next year. Flores, 24-25 in his 3 seasons. You hear talk about Tua factored into this some way, shape, or form, and that maybe sticking with Tua was not a good idea, or this, that, and the other. As far as Tua goes, actually, guys, I don't really have a strong opinion on Tua in either direction. I see a guy that's not even 24 years old yet, believe it or not. He turns 24 in March. That is growing, and it's a situation, and who knows what his future is with the Miami Dolphins. But I think as far as Tua's career goes, everyone has to be a little bit patient. And I think the word patience or patient is something that is not as common today than maybe it was 20 or 30 years ago. We're in a world where patience is not cool at all. Who wants to be patient? What do you mean patience? But Tua is not even 24 yet. He's getting better. Tua is 13-8 as a starter. Yes, he's had a few games where he didn't statistically play very well. Some games, Dolphins really don't throw the ball very well. He can run well. He is a dual threat. So I'm going to give you a very boring answer when it comes to Tua, a very boring, and I don't mean to do that, description, and that is he's just this work in progress where the team can win games with him. He doesn't have the greatest arm in the world, but I think for the most part he is good enough. Is he Justin Herbert? No, he's actually not. And the Dolphins could have taken Justin Herbert. We know that already a few years ago in the draft. They took Tua with the pick right before Herbert. We know that. That already happened. We can't undo that situation. And I don't make videos, guys, to tell you, well, I was right about this and I was right about that. That's the last thing I try to do on these videos. But I was hoping that the Dolphins would have taken Herbert a couple of years ago in the draft. They didn't. They took Tua. It is what it is. It is what it is. I don't like the saying it is what it is, but it is what it is. Just move on. The Dolphins, next up. The Dolphins have had 7. Now, I talked about this in my last video after the Patriot game. The Dolphins have 7 winning seasons in the last 20. Dolphins have been to the playoffs a grand total of 2 times in the last 20 years. The Dolphins have won 0 playoff games in 20 years. The only 2 playoff appearances were in 2008, which was a 15-point loss to the Baltimore Ravens in the wild card round. And in 2016, when Ryan Tannehill would lead this team into the playoffs, and they got blown out in Pittsburgh. Also a wild card round game. So the Miami Dolphins have had 0 success, pretty much. There's hardly any highlights for the last 20 seasons for the Miami Dolphins. So the one thing I'm not really hearing at all, I haven't really listened much or watched much TV in the past 4 or 5 days because it was a work week. Sometimes I'll do a little bit of that after work. I mean, it's like any week for me. I don't sit home and watch TV all day. I'm busy like many of you. I have a job, right? But I spent some time watching a few videos to get some of the reaction, and it seems more of, well, dysfunctional teams do dysfunctional things, and, you got to expect that. Dolphins are one of those teams. Doesn't make any sense to get rid of Brian Flores. The team's not going to be any better with whoever they get than if they just stayed with Flores. I agree with that last part, by the way. Hopefully we'll get a good candidate. But the team was, and you hear this a lot too, moving in the right direction. But here's the other side of it, guys. If you're hanging around this long in the video, when you haven't won any playoff games in 20 years, and your coach, although yes, they won their last 8 of 9 games, and yes, they had a 7-game winning streak up until the loss the second to last week of the season against the Tennessee Titans. They had a 7-game winning streak. But when you go 20 seasons and years and don't win any playoff games, you're going to make decisions that are based on impatience. You just are. You see that in companies. You see that in businesses. These things happen. You may have, watching this video, may have been in a situation yourself where either your job was in jeopardy or maybe you lost a job. That it wasn't fair. It just wasn't right. And it's unfortunate that Brian Flores lost his job. It is. But at the end of the day, he did not take the Dolphins to the playoffs, guys. And I think, yes, he inherited a terrible situation. Yes, he did have 2 winning seasons out of 3 and had 2 straight winning seasons, the first since the 2002-2003 Miami Dolphins, led by Ricky Williams, as we all know. But when you don't take the team to the playoffs in your 3rd season, okay, and finish 9-8, which technically is you regressed. It is what it is, guys. Okay, they started 1-7. That happened. I'm not making that up. Okay, so there is a little bit, even though he should still be Brian Flores, the Dolphins head coach. There is a little bit of that. Well, this is why, there is that other side of it too. I mean, what happened to the Dolphins' advantage in September, October when it's 89 degrees and 84% humidity? What happened to that? What happened to that? What's up with the slow starts? Okay, I know the stadium's been upgraded, right? So it's like a partial roof now. So maybe you don't get that baking sun effect. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. But guys, I'm going to go back to this one more time, guys. When you don't win playoff games, in any playoff games in 20 years, the Miami Dolphins, as an organization, their patience has run out. Okay, and if you think that's the wrong way to look at it, okay, I'm not here to argue. Leave a comment if you'd like. Although I don't agree with the decision, I wish Brian Flores was our coach still. This will send a clear message. Right or wrong, this sends a clear message to everyone. Coaches, players, front office personnel, that mediocrity is no longer acceptable within this organization. 9-8 and no playoffs is no longer acceptable within this organization. 10-6 and no playoffs is no longer acceptable in this organization. Okay? The feel-good days, things are looking up. Okay? And this has been going on forever. Things are looking up. This guy looks better. The defense. How many seasons have we gone into as Dolphin fans? The defense looks good. The feel-good vibe is over for the Dolphins because that doesn't work, guys. That type of motivation for this organization has not worked. Now it's time to get a little bit upset over the fact that New England only took 1 year to fix their situation. They're back in the playoffs. As I make this video, they're playing the Bills tonight in a night game in Buffalo. So think about that, please. If you've made it this far, I will close out this video saying I will see you next time. Talk about other sports topics. We'll probably come back on Sunday. We'll talk a little NFL playoffs, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.